Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. Today I want to talk about a really fascinating concept that is actually quite difficult to understand, but I'm going to try to put it in very simple words and hope that it works for you. So, if you know you have to change on some things, or if you want to improve the way you feel about different things in your life, whether these are trauma from the past or strong emotions that disturb you, and if you want to improve your life and improve the way you are, then please continue listening to this video. My talk is very much inspired by I think he's American, one American guy that I came across on YouTube many months ago. His name is Joe Dispenza. I think he has like a neuroscientist background, and he's done a lot of research, and he wrote a book that I bought a few months ago that talks about how you can train or retrain or reprogram your brain to feel and react differently about things in your life. That could be past trauma, like childhood trauma, or any events that caused a lot of pain or hurt, or strong negative emotions within yourself, or it could be events that are currently happening to you. He talks about a very complicated concept, and it goes into a lot of like scientific terms and talks a lot about the brain, and it was quite difficult for me to read it, but it's really fascinating. That book and that guy literally have changed a lot of things in my life, and the concept he talks about has been at the core of my healing. Without this book, I don't think I would have made it until today, and I wouldn't have been able to stand on my feet and talk like this with confidence about this kind of concept, because I did it, and it really works. So if right now you are feeling again really stuck, very depressed, or you are anxious, and some things are happening in your life that makes you feel really bad, know that it is possible to reprogram your brain. So what he says is that basically our brain works like a computer program, right? Something bad happened, for example, in the past, and so we have reacted a certain way to that event. And so we are so used to feel a certain way about a certain event that it becomes embedded into our brain. It's like really integrated, right? And every time we are reminded of that particular event, it's kind of our brain launches a sort of a computer program that runs automatically, and that tells us how we are supposed to feel and how we are supposed to react. For example, if you've been traumatized by something, each time that event is brought to you or a memory of it, then without even you thinking about it, that emotion is going to get created within yourself, and you're going to react and feel a certain way about it. So, in the past, people and scientists thought that we couldn't change our brain, especially after a certain age, and our brain was really fixed once it's taught maybe how to do something. It's never going to be possible to change it. But it is possible, and research and science have proved that our brain is flexible, and it is possible to reprogram it. So I have done it, and I need to warn you that it can be extremely exhausting. So I've really tried so hard, and it worked really well. But some days I was very exhausted of really trying, because you have to sit and you have to think about a certain event, and you have to be aware of what you feel normally when you think about that event, or when something happens that triggers an emotion. So you have to detach from it and see what kind of emotion it makes you feel, and then normally you will react a certain way. And the key point is, when you feel a certain way about an event, it's about redirecting that feeling and thought to a different sort of channel. So then your reaction and feeling is different, you know. So it's about like really tweaking it. It's not about blocking it, it's really about tweaking it and um, recreating a new channel and a new feeling and teaching your brain to react differently about a certain event. You know, when that happened to me, like in the past few months, for example, if I was receiving maybe a message or something that was maybe hurtful, or you know, some words that would really, you know, be like hurting me, I would, at some point I was able to look at the message. I knew what this message would normally makes me feel, and I would stop for a second and I would choose to react. uh, I would choose how to react to it. So in the past, I would have feel like, oh my God, this is so hurtful. But then I was like, okay, that's how it is. Normally, I would feel like so hurt. Why do I feel hurt? Can I feel differently about it? So it's really about the decision to, you know, deciding to feel differently about it. And the more you do that, the more you are going to be able to make it a natural process. And then you're going to recreate a new habit, a new feeling about that event. Okay, so it could be about past trauma, things happening now, or the way you simply just want to be in your life, about things around you and people around you. For example, in the past few months, there's quite a few people that, you know, sort of were like blowing up in my face, and like, you know, some friends, for example. And before, I would have been caught into the thing and like feel really upset and angry and, you know, hurt and many different feelings. But I remember a few times just, you know, looking at or hearing someone on the phone pretty upset, and I was looking at the event, and normally, instead of launching that automatic program of feeling really like upset about it, I stopped for a second and I chose to redirect it. Right. So, for example, I would say, you know, I understand you feel this way, and, you know, I hear you, you know, take your time for whatever. And then I would just decide that this would not affect me the way it used to affect me. Right. It's also very much close to like the Buddhist concept of like happiness. Like, you know, we should feel happy regardless of the event, external event around you. Anyway, that's, I'm just like talking about a lot of things, but by doing this, you know, in our brain, there are a network of neurons that are stimulated each time we feel something. So that guy, Joey Dispenza, talks about creating new connections in the brain. It's like when you learn to play maybe the piano or the guitar, right? You don't know how to play right away, but it takes practice. And at some point, it's automatic. So you have to almost create new automatic computer program that is launched by your brain every time there's an event happening in your life, so that it becomes really natural and you don't have to think about it. And then you can, you know, become the person you want to become, have healthier emotions, etc. So but you have to keep on working on it. It's not just a one-time thing. For this electric sort of channel to be stimulated in your brain and to become the new computer program to run each time, you have to keep practicing. That's when I took it to a very extreme, and I was so tired. I would fall asleep all the time at home. But you have to keep on doing that almost every day, or at least every couple of times in a week, where you stimulate the same sort of connection. For example, that even happen, and rather than choosing the channel of, you know, the automatic program of like, I'm going to feel sad and hurt, you decide that it's difficult, but it's not going to touch you, and you are going to react differently to that event. And so the more you do that, right, the more you create a new channel, and those neurons or those channels within your brain, I don't remember the exact like scientific words and stuff, but are stimulated, and they become the new sort of channel for a thought to be processed. Right, so you are redirecting that thought in your brain, and the way we think and feel influence the way we react. So that's how we can recreate and change ourselves. And I want to stop here because it's a very difficult concept, and I don't want to lose you into these things. But it takes practice. I encourage you to watch his videos or to buy his book and to try. It's all about decision, it's all about effort, and it's also about believing that it's possible to do that. If you don't believe in it, it's never gonna happen. You can do that for work, for people, and it's really, really rewarding. And I even remember myself maybe looking at different things, and rather than things shocking me or hurting me, I was able at some point to just naturally feel very detached from it and to redirect my thoughts and not letting my inner peace sort of disturbed by my external environment, because I had chosen that I could react differently. I think the way our brain is, you can retrain it and you can reprogram it. It's like neuroplasticity, I think it's called. It's that you can model your brain because it's actually very flexible. Right, that's all for this talk. Yeah, and for those who don't believe it's possible, please give it a try. It is really possible, and it's super powerful. Okay, and if I've done it, you can do it too. Right, that's all. I'm gonna stop the video here. Have a good day wherever you are, and I'll speak to you very soon.